was born in 180. My feast day is June 1st. I was well educated and wrote many books. I was born in Italy to heathen parents and lived in Australia. I had to apologize to the people about how I had the right to be persecuted. If I did not sacrifice to God, I'd be stabbed and beheaded. I found a way to sacrifice to God in my gospel. I am very forgiving and spread God's word. I am also very adventurous and found a way to sacrifice to God.
I was born April 5th, 1507. When I was 19, I moved to Paris to study. There I met St. Ignatius, which began my journeys. On my 35th birthday, I went to Goa, India to preach. What I would do there is I would comfort the poor and those in prison, and I would ring a bell to attract children to church. Later, I went to southern India, and along the way, I built almost 40 churches. Then I went to Japan. Japan was very difficult, though, because I didn't know the language and it was very hard to learn. So I spent about 2 years learning the language, but then after learning it all, I was able to preach very well. I was the first Christ missionary ever to go to Japan. For my final destination, we went to Shangchuan Island, China. There I died of a fever December 3rd. December 3rd is my feast day. I use my gifts very generously to help teach others about Christ and God.
Cecilia, and I would like to share my life story with you guys today so that we might both become closer to God. I was born in 200 BC in Rome. My family was very involved with our faith. I even had a guardian angel who protected me and a promise from God to keep my purity. At a young age, I married Valerian. He was a rich pagan. On our wedding night, I told him about this promise. He was very understanding, yet he wanted to see my guardian angel. So I told him he had to be baptized first. So once he came back from being baptized, he saw me in a small room praying beneath my guardian angel. He was amazed. He sat down, knelt beside me, as the guardian angel put crowns of lilies on our heads. After that, we dedicated our lives to burying Christians who had been killed for their faith. It was Then Valerian got captured. He was killed just like the rest. It was a sad time for me, yet that didn't stop. During this time, I converted 400 Christians. Then came my turn. The prefect of the city captured me and ordered me to be burned to death in a bathroom. With my faith in God, this didn't stop. The flames couldn't touch me, and I escaped. He caught me a second time and decided to slice off my head. So he struck me 3 times, and none of the times fully killed me. So I lived 3 extra days. During those 3 extra days, I was praying and preaching to God the entire time. It is said that I could hear music playing the whole time. My feast day is November 22nd, and I'm the patron saint of music. There are festivals and feast days. There are festivals and concerts held on my feast day. I hope that this time helps you become closer to Jesus Christ himself.
1626 on Tenerife Island. My family was very poor growing up, so I was a shepherd up until the age of 23. After that, I moved to Guatemala to follow my dream of becoming a priest through the connections of relative. By the time I reached Cuba, I was very poor. After working to earn more money, I arrived in Guatemala a year later. But again, I was very poor and dependent on the Franciscans who gave money to those in need. I enrolled into Stewart College, could not master the materials, so I withdrew from the school. Unable to become a priest, I became tertiary and visited schools, prisons, hospitals, the unemployed, and the young. In 1658, I opened a hospital for poor people, a shelter for the homeless, and a school for poor children. During the days, I would preach to prisoners, and at night I would walk the streets ringing a bell to get donations from workers. I'm a great example of the virtue shared. I showed everyone there's always a second option, and set a good example by helping those that were less fortunate. I died April 25th, 1667, was made a saint in 2002. I did a great job of helping others, which influenced many people. Thank you.
Hi, I am St. James. I am the son of Zebedee. I am a brother to St. John. I have a fiery temper. I am one of the 12 apostles. I am the patron saint of Spain and the pilgrims. I am a fisherman. My feast day is celebrated on July 25th. I helped in the founding of Christianity. I was the first of the apostles to be martyred. I left my father and my way of life to follow Jesus. There are many churches and shrines dedicated to me.
St. Elizabeth of Hungary. My feast day is November 17th. I am the patron saint of beggars, the homeless, and deaf children. I was born in Hungary in 1207. My Alexander II, King of Hungary. At the age of 4, I was sent to be married to the son of the King of Hungary. In 1221, I was married Louis of Hungary. I had a simple life. I practiced penance and I devoted myself to charity. One day when I was going to give food to the poor, my husband stopped. He didn't like me giving food to the poor because he thought the poor were taking advantage of me. When he stopped me, I had to hide the bread into my cloak. When he made me show him what was in my cloak, the bread had turned into roses and it saved me. At the age of 27, I died in 1230.
I'm the patron saint of expectant mothers and sick children. I was born on January 13, 1381 in Cafeteria region of France. When I was younger, I liked to pray and have a loving sense of nature. After my parents died, I spent most of my time towards children. One time when St. Francis of Assisi came to me, he asked me to do a task that I had to take. I was struck blind for 3 days and made for 3 months. I saw the wedding as a sign from God and traveled to the Poor Clare convent. I helped the nuns become more prayerful and inspired them with my great devotion to God. I became a saint because I always took people in the right direction and cared more about others than myself and always put God first.
It's named after my grandmother, St. Caterina the Elder. My feast day is July 19th. I was born in the year of 327. At age 12, I was engaged, but sadly, my fiancé died before the wedding. My father died too in my early life, also my mother, so I gave up on everything and devoted my life to God and my 2 brothers, St. Peter of Sabeda and St. Gregory of Nyssa. The whole rest of my life, I was never married and I loved God and took care of my brothers. In 379, I was dying and very sick. My brother found me dying on the floor. So he helped me out of the bed and was there with me until the hospital, like I was there for him his whole life. That is my life story. It's not much, but I hope it teaches you to love God always, no matter what hard moments.
Paul Raymond B. I was born in 1310 of a knightly family. I am the son of William de Moor. I was born in the castle of Grimsap. My first day is December 19th. I became Pope in September 1362. I will tell you what I did during my time as Pope. I founded 4 universities. I also ordered a crusade preached throughout Europe and Italy. A problem in my life was when, on my way to Rome, a town's whole population was executed by powerful forces, paving a way for me.
My feast date is April 16th. I've had a lot of struggles in my life, and I've also had a lot of good fortune. I was in poor health my whole life. I was also not very smart, but I was very kind. Here's my story. I was collecting firewood by a river, and I saw Mary in a canoe. She was holding the rosary, so I prayed it with her. Then she instructed me to dig into the ground. While I was digging, a stream poured out of the ground. It can feel. And then she instructed me to build a church on top of a hill by the river. So then I did, and it's still there today. Mary's message to me was to do penance and pray for sinners. You can learn a lot from me, like how to live.
Hi, I'm St. Athanasius. I was born in Alexandria, Egypt. As a young man, I spent 4 years in the desert. When I left the desert, I became a priest, and I was also a bishop at the time. I wrote much to defend the church and some people too. I was exiled 5 times as a bishop. And I wrote the life of St. Anthony the Hermit. And I was hunted by some people when I went into the desert for 7 years, and then finally came out, and they got me, and I died on May 2nd, 373.
Born in Alexandria. Hi, I'm St. Isidore. I'm from Seville, Spain. My feast date is April 4th. I think you'd be interested to know that when I was young, my brother was really mean to me. He kept abusing me, so I ran away from home. When I was gone, I found out that if I kept working on my education, I could do it. So when I got older, I went home. I was able to forgive my brother, and I was even able to work with him later in life as the Archbishop of Spain of Seville. I wrote books. I like to write books on grammar, history, astronomy, and religion. I also wrote encyclopedias. You might not know what an encyclopedia is. It's what people use to learn things before Google. I think I would like Google because I like being on the leading edge of technology. Maybe that's why I'm the patron saint of computer programmers and the internet. Well, I'd better let you go. Enough about me. I have to get back to my writing.
Hi, my name is Saint Cyril of Jerusalem. I was born in the year C376 and lived in Theodosius. Now I'm going to tell you a little about my life and novations. I was raised in Theodosius and went to school there. I studied grammar, humanities, and theology. I also studied biblical studies, also known as Pillar of the Father and the Father of the and Seal of the Father. His uncle Felius was Patriarch of Alexandria before I was. St. Cyril, we had some conflict with novations. Novations were a group of people who did not allow had some conflict arise with the novations. They did not allow Christians back into the church once they stopped practicing. St. Cyril of Jerusalem started seizing sacred vessels of the novations and closed their churches. Novations continued as St. Cyril did to stop. He wrote and preached against those who did not follow the ways of the Christian faith. To get a good education, you need to get a good education so that you can speak and talk of God. I felt that St. Cyril of Jerusalem was a good man because he preached and was a good person and helped a lot of people.